Ben Shapiro, he's quick on his feet. He is very intelligent. Tell me what you think. Let's discuss this. Listen in.
For the last couple of weeks, I've heard you make multiple justifications for the carnage, the death, the despair, the now over 10,000 Palestinian people that have been slaughtered, refugee camps that have been bombed with one-ton bombs, US-made bombs, people picking up the body parts of their children and putting them in bags because they can't find every bit of their family's remains. And you have made the justification that it's worth it if Hamas is wiped out. I want to do a thought experiment for the audience. You push a button right now, Hamas is gone from the earth. Call it whatever you want, it's gone. What do Israeli-Palestinian relations look like?
So the answer is that
No, I'm going to tell you the answer.
Well, then that's not a question.
No, that was my framing of the question.
At a certain point,
the answer,
as long as you get to a question mark at the end, we're good.
There's a question.
Okay. Sometime in the near future.
What does the West Bank look like? Who administers the West Bank?
I got the question.
It's the Palestinian Authority who cooperates. They're docile. They work with the Israeli government.
In what way?
And what do you see in the West Bank? Day in, day out, ethnic cleansing. People getting kicked out of their homes. In the middle of the night, the Israeli Defense Force.
Is
the
there
Orwellian, listen.
Okay.
There
No,
are
I know.
questions coming very soon, sir. I appreciate your time.
Take a breath.
Listen. People being pulled out of their homes, watching their homes demolished while their children cry.
Where's the question?
The question is, do Palestinians have the right to defend themselves?
So can I ask a quick counter question? If by Palestinians defending themselves, is Hamas a terrorist group?
Sure.
Should Hamas surrender tomorrow?
It's not for me to say.
Okay, so
Should Israel stop dropping one-ton
hold on a second.
No.
You got to talk for several minutes and spew complete bullshit. So now it's my turn. So because that's how this works. This is a dialogue. No, so let me explain. Okay, here is my perspective. My perspective on this is very clear, which is that what is happening right now in Gaza is horrific and a tragedy, and every ounce of blood that is being spilled is on Hamas. Hamas initiated this conflict. There was a ceasefire all the way up till October 6th. On October 7th, they stormed into Israel, murdered 1,500 people, and took 200 people hostage back into Gaza. They then planted themselves in terror tunnels that they've spent billions of dollars building, that they robbed from their own population, underneath civilian populations, including the Al-Shifa hospital. They have hundreds of thousands of gallons of fuel underneath Al-Shifa hospital being used solely and completely to fund their terrorism. And you say Hamas should not surrender. Now here's the deal. The minute Hamas surrenders, the bloodshed stops. It is that simple. As far as the Palestinian Authority has on its books laws that pay terrorists who kill Jews. They do get actual stipends that outgross the actual yearly earnings of Palestinians. Don't shake your head at me when what you're saying is factually untrue. So, what is going to happen next after Hamas is gone? The answer very much depends on whether the Palestinians ever decide to put in place a government that is willing to not attempt to genocidally exterminate the Jews. Israel pulled out of the Gaza Strip in 2005 completely. There were no Jews in the Gaza Strip in 2006.
The United Nations Security Council still considers them an effective occupier when they control the ports, the air spaces, all the territorial
Okay, so number one, you have to control...
They're incorrect on that fact.
On what
you're
fact?
presenting as a fact.
On
it's
what
not
fact?
a fact?
They did pull out.
They pulled out physically, but
but not mentally or emotionally.
No.
Okay.
I just explained how they did pull out.
As far as the ports, as far as the airspace, of course they have to prevent the shipment in of weaponry. Why? Because every single dollar that went into the Gaza Strip was used to build the greatest terror base on planet Earth, and we are watching the consequences of that right this very instant. Israel has complete air superiority over the Gaza Strip. If Israel truly wanted to commit human rights violation, they could literally turn the place into glass tomorrow. They are not doing that.
Listen to me. The West Bank, explain the settlements. Is that Hamas's fault?
First, okay, so first you need to, first, can we finish with are we done with Gaza? We're done with Gaza. So now we're moving to the West Bank.
I'm not going to separate them fully, no.
Of course you're not going to separate them fully because you won't even say that Hamas should surrender.
I'm not in charge of Hamas.
That's such a ridiculous answer.
I'm not.
You're not in charge of Israel either, but you're dictating policy.
That's right. You never answered my question.
I'm happy to answer your question.
Do Palestinians have the right to defend themselves?
If by defend themselves you mean murder innocent civilians, then no, they do not. Well, clearly you do, because you don't want Hamas to surrender. That's what they are doing. They are murdering innocent Israeli civilians. They're murdering innocent Palestinian civilians. They are murdering anyone they can find. They're literally shooting people on the roads from North Gaza to South Gaza right now to tell them to go back and act as human shields for their rockets. That is what Hamas is doing right now, and you won't call on them to surrender. I'm done with this guy. We're done. We're done.
You're not done.
We're done. Yes, I am.
No, you're not.
Goodbye.
For the carnage.
Sometimes you got to be done, because when someone is so obviously dishonest, really what it comes down to is an agenda. Hamas shouldn't lay down their weapons. Oh, I can't tell them what to do, but you can tell Israel what they should do. But you don't believe that they should put down, because you don't believe October 7th was a carnage, that it was an act of evil. You feel that, oh, woe is the victim. They're such victims because we have air superiority over Gaza, because we have control over the ports and so on. Little did that even help, that they were able to build hundreds of miles of tunnels underground. Little did it help that they were able to live amongst innocent people and use them as human shields. So let's be honest. Let's not go with an agenda. And the agenda that we live in today is that victimhood is the way to go. Those that are victims, you got to carry the badge of victimhood. Jewish people aren't like that. If there's any people that should be victims, are the Jewish people. Over the last 1,000 years, we have been kicked out of 100 countries plus. We have dealt with barbaric peoples, whether it's the Cossacks, whether it's pogroms, whether it's a Holocaust, or just, the daily routine of, blood libels of let's get rid of the Jews or a Jew or whatever the case may be. But that didn't make us wallow in our misery. It just meant that we have to start again. We'll start again. We have to create a new community. We'll create a new community. But we move forward. Yes, we'll call out the evils, no question about it. But we won't live in wallowing in our victimhood. We pick ourselves up and we create new communities, and we build our communities. We build the society that we live with amongst. And people know that. When the Jews come, they'll do good for the community. Now, of course, some people are jealous with that. Some people don't like that. And then they become a victim. Don't do that. Build. God created each and every one of us in his divine image, just like God is one. So you have a divine, unique image that God needs you in this world. That's why he brought you into this world. Furthermore, no two faces are alike. No two minds are alike. There's no two thumbprints are alike, because we all have to make a unique imprint in this world to change this world for good. That's what we need to partner in. How can we get along together to do goodness and kindness and change this world for good? That's my challenge to everyone. Let's get together in that way. If you want to hear more about this, come to my daily class on Tanya, 9:30 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, Mondays through Fridays. Sundays, it's an hour later at 10:30 a.m. for a live class. And if you can't make the live class, you can always get the recorded class. Come and join learning mystical Jewish teachings that empower, that give us strength. that give us the fortitude to not be victims of anybody or anything, to own our lives, to take total responsibility, and to move forward, live a better life, and yet more a godly life, and make your impact to bring the divine into this world. Join me in the journey.